Hey everyone, it is Susami here, and I know it's been a long while. Eh, you know, life and all that, but we're not going to get into any of that stuff. We're just going to jump right into it. I am playing the Stanley Parable. I've heard of it. I think I may have seen somebody play a little bit of it. Other than that, no idea, because I had this confused with a whole other freaking game. The I don't even remember what the name of that one was. A little guy in a pot with a hammer or something. He's got to climb up stuff. I thought that was the Stanley Parable, but I guess not. I don't know. So, hey, let's jump in. And I do apologize for the bad, awful audio quality. I am playing on PlayStation. The end is never the end is never the end. What is this? The song that never ends? Oh gosh, now I put that in somebody's brain. They're going to be singing it over and over and over again. It's going to be stuck in my head.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hi, Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's
Took
job
away
was
their
simple.
identity.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them,
Whoa,
and in what
micromanagement
order.
overload.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Oh, that's me. Ah, hi. Look, I can look around. Cute. That clock is freaking loud. Oh. I hate Mondays? Well, why would you have a mug that says I hate Mondays? I can't even get close to the tape. Okay, I want to read it. Why would he have a mug that says I hate Mondays if he absolutely loved his job? Did everybody get taken by that lady from the Portals game? Wait, it's too quiet. Haha.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait. Let me back in. Oh, everybody has the same mug that says
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker.
Who farted? This one doesn't even have anything. Number one dad. No Xeroxing of the booties. I like work. I just hate my boss. And I don't know what that says. Ooh, be my Valentine. Who farted? What is that? have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. Okay. I've read that. I read it. Was that Valentine cup? F you. Alright. Well, we know what that cup means. And who farted? Oh, other way. Wait. Knowing your city. You are here, I guess. Huh? Door. Ah, okay, okay. Apparently they hate Mondays. Hello.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire.
No, I wanted to peek, but apparently you get too close and... That door's open.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Number 1, Dad. Drink.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth.
Okay, I get it, I get
eager
it.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That doesn't look like an office, though. This looks like a drawing room. Do I go there? Do I not? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, do I obey and go that way or do... Alright, first run, let's do what he says, since I already messed up once.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But shiny red button. Shiny red button. Okay, fine, I'll listen. There, see?
Yet
Nobody's
there was
here.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Tips for getting fired? No, go back to the other one. How to solve a dispute. Let it ball up inside you. Take out passive aggressive. Using slides to assure employees everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a blue graphics and header. Ensure everyone is unique, most of all you. Okay. So go back to that one of the tips on how to get fired. Number of slides on the slides. Okay. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Okay, somebody's having a good old time here. Oh, what does this say? Synergize core values, shift global market power. Appreciation minute. Okay. That's too much. Room closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Well, yeah, but why'd you let me open the door?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boy, the wind outside is getting bad. Now, what is this fancy smanchy bullpuckies? Executive bathroom. Well, aren't we fancy? Hello, secretary. Dang. This game is old. There's still yellow pages. Dang, I'm old. I know what yellow pages are. Hello. Look at all that noise.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, but the boss isn't here. Can I have... Huh, you don't even get to see his face. Okay, what was the number again?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, that's not very secretive right there. Just a big old massive keypad. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Hello? I guess I'll push the button to go down. We're gonna die. Loading, loading, loading. That green is loading. Loading, loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
The fatal company overlords gave up on me? They ate everybody?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But this one says escape. Escape. See, it says escape. Alright, but we're gonna do what it says the first time around, just so I can see what's going on. Do I push the button?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Actually, I was thinking Cerebro? I'm Charles Xavier? Ooh, push button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I was what, 427? Is this the way I came? Oh, okay. What is this?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay, I'll guess.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Well, yeah. Isn't that working?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Number 5. Waiting input, huh? Always when I want to do something important, everybody's like, oh, I need to talk to you right this dang minute, so. There we are. Now leave me alone, people. I don't have all the time in the world to play, so I'm gonna play. On my first time getting to play. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. Let's see what happens. So?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Is that a door?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
This is like the easiest
This
game
was
ever.
exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay, fastest game ever. There's gotta be a catch. Really? Okay, okay, there's gotta be some kind of catch, man. I mean, this is supposed to be like a... This has gotta be some kind of joke, right? Yeah, see, I knew it. Okay, so now we're gonna not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so... We're gonna mess with everything. We're not gonna go in the... Okay, 2 doors.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So no, last time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay, so... Okay.
Wow.
Lounge.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room.
Can't see up the
What a
blinds, so
gorgeous,
what the heck?
gorgeous room. But
Oh, yeah.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we're not. We're gonna go in here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
The plans, abacus, da-da-da-da. No, it's not an abacus. Abacus is used for counting. Okay. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off. Whee!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. Okay. So yeah.
All of his
Alright.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah.
Stanley decided to
So
go to the meeting room.
We're gonna
Perhaps
go
he had
faster
simply
than you
missed a
can talk.
memo.
Ha 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 ha. Whee! Goodbye. Alright, so next.
When Stanley came to a set of two
we
open,
went through-
this
yeah,
was not the correct
no.
way to the meeting
Okay,
room,
we're going
and
this
Stanley knew
way.
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And next.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
so you
took the
can
first
make him
open door
skip
on
it
his
fast.
left.
Okay, so we're gonna go in here.
Stanley was so bad
Yeah,
at
we
following
got it.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Okay, but who's...
This is it, Stanley. Your
Her.
chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who the heck are you talking about?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, dude, man. Harsh.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Well, F off then.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee. Press to triangle on your controller.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Oh, I get it. So if I keep pushing triangle, I'm going to rebuild the office.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Oh yeah, because then I wouldn't have to see. Okay, so.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
No, you wanted me to push triangle. Now I'm pushing triangle. No, no, no. You want me to push triangle. Oh shit, that is a stove. Is that a stove? Ah.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
So that makes me wonder. I love you.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
But I must.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Mirror?
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Well, technically, isn't that guy basically like the company then? If the company's brainwashing me to push buttons and over again, he's telling me go this way, do that, push this, stuff. He's basically doing the same thing the company is. Okay, so
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
okay, so we went to the right door twice now. So let's.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. So we.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to
not
go
getting
up to his boss's office,
Don't get
hoping
fired.
he might find an answer there.
Resent coworkers. Okay, so I went in the broom closet
Oh
again.
no, oh no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I went downstairs because I haven't gone this way yet.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be
1, 2,
real.
B4.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? Did I pass out?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. So I jumped off the thing, killed myself. I rode around like a crazy person, ended up killing myself, but I wasn't inside a building, I guess. All in my brains? What is this game? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But even if they had a meeting... Okay, so
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so I didn't finish the one on the left, so... Let's go this way. The next time I'll go back on the right and ride that weird elevator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Too synergized. Fire a paper guy, hire someone to fire the papers. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets. Not cost efficient. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items, write next day's agenda, reflect. Okay. Okay, apparently I made him mad. Okay, let's go this way.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes, yes. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss losses, then that's what the boss chooses. Okay. Alright, do we continue? Okay, let's go this way. Okay, there's an elevator. Okay. Alright. Go over here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
No, not 8. Ah, dang it, I messed it up. 8675309. Oh.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
5 86753.
2845.
No, 5309. Darn it. 2 8 4.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
5 3 4 9. Alright, here we go. And so the only way you can go here is by pushing this button, which is going to take you back out. Well, where was the big room with the yellow arrows? I wanted to go to that one. That one sounded like it was fun. Oh wait, no, there's another one over here. Another button I can push.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, we're going
Although
to
this
these.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Ooh. Hi. Shh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? The Stanley parable?
And yet
Okay.
it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, Death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Oh, quit. Oh, dude, this is like a little mini. Oh, neat. Office layout. The second office. And then you were supposed to come over here. And the two-door option. Oh, shit. This is pretty cool. What is this? The office. File cabinets. Office computer. Hey, someone's playing solitaire. All right. Based off the order. Credits? What the hell did I find? Clock. Office.
Fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it.
What? This is trippy, man. The freedom ending. Okay, well, these are all the people that worked on it, so nice, nice. Okay, cool. Building, plants. The war zone. An early development designer and an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator, realizing shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. James Irwin, how's it going? Okay. The lounge. Okay. Apartment timer. I can't. Countdown room? Countdown desk. Okay, well, what's back over here?
In this room, perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design.
Surprise party.
But of course, you
Okay.
being you, you'll probably spend...
Okay. Game design mock-up. I guess I'm supposed to go back this way. Because I came in from that way, right? Okay. So...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
This is like trippy brain rot.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Okay. Trippy as all get out. Hmm. Okay, well that one took me there, which was really neat. I like seeing the concepts and the designs and stuff like that.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Okay. It's a lot more chipper. Odd.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, we're gonna push this button. Okay, this I wanna see.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Let's see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay, that is hilarious.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay, this is hilarious. Okay. Alright. Okay. Hi, I'm Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Now let's see.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ooh. I'm in the back rooms. Okay, I'm literally in the back rooms. Oh boy.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is funny as heck, man. Now there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yeah, I was getting kind of zombie apocalypse feels from that too, yeah.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. I don't think the line is supposed to go this way, though.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I think think your Linus had too much caffeine there. Whee! Alright, woohoo!